Once again, the first base is a Dren. He's going to hit the ground there as Cole. Oh!
Simple just jumping casually into the side. He's going to fall down again. What is this shot from Simple?
His game flashed. He's going to get that shot, and then has to feel a little bit going out middle of the air to take down Alex, and now they're pushing. Oh, you've got to be kidding me!
On the rotation, Oscar's gone. Chris isn't. Awp still in the picture. Awp still very much in the round. Oh, Chris! He's found 3. It's down to a 2-on-2. Chris, can he close this with an ace?
In order to understand how the Awp became and what it will become, we have to go back in time. Counter-Strike was launched on the 19th of June 1999, and with it the Awp was released, and it would quickly become one of the most controversial weapons of all time. So join me as I dive into the history of the Awp. The Awp is very expensive at $4,750, but in return it would one-shot, which can be extremely powerful and unfun to play against. You know that feeling when 3 CTs are just dominating your entire team with an Awp and you can't do anything? Yeah, that's the biggest problem with the Awp. There are 3 main ways to deal with an Awp. The first is utility, which is extremely hard to do well solo queuing. The second is jiggle peeking, but most good AWPers can counter it. And the third is just peek into an Awp and hope you headshot him. In 1.6 and Source, the Awp had a 50% more movement speed while scoping than it does now, giving you even less time to headshot the AWPer. It also had $300 kill reward instead of 100, and like all weapons back in the days, it was way better at wallbanging. So the Awp has always been very unfair and very unfun to play against, but it would take a long time to be good in Csgo. In 2012, Csgo was launched, and it was terrible. Nobody liked it. People were calling it the end of Counter-Strike. But over time the game got a lot of changes and the community started to accept it. There was just one teeny tiny problem. The Awp was even better now and way harder to deal with.
Need to go big, and Kenny's gonna go ahead peek in a second minute, and he gets the...
What made this extremely obvious was in 1.6 and Source there were extremely good AWPers, sometimes even the best players in the world, but Csgo was different. It would however take 3 years time where the AWP wasn't that good. Ninjas in pajamas were the goats of early Counter-Strike. And they had Fiflaren. And no disrespect meant, but he wasn't very good. But that didn't matter because in 2012 and 2013 you didn't need a good AWPer to compete. But after that it was almost impossible to be a top 3 player in the world without being an AWPer. The best showcase of this was Csgo, obviously. If you didn't watch Counter-Strike in 2014 or 2015, you might not know how insane this guy was.
NES with 2, and a third as well, and a fourth! Unbelievable play from Kenny, and he gets the ace!
People were calling him the GOAT of Counter-Strike, and for those 9 months nobody would even get close to his level until Prime Simple. But Valve had other plans. A lot of people were complaining about the Awp, and Valve finally gave in. On the 31st of March, the Awp would get a massive movement speed nerf. This really hurt the Awp. Now if an AWPer peeked into you, you had 30% more time to headshot them before they killed you. This made a massive difference. And it would take another 2 years for an AWPer to be the best player in the world again. This is where I introduce you to a little guy called Simple.
Get naded. He also knows there's a flank, and he also knows he needs position. Whoa! He actually gets the first one. He's got a chance. He knows Alu's up close, and he sneaks around.
He changed how you played the Awp. Yes, there were people like JW and Kenny, but Simple played the Awp like it was a shotgun, and oh my lord, he was good with it. Just to show how good this guy was, the previous year the best player in the world was Coldzera with 1.24 HLT rating, but Simple was 1.33 in 2018, easily the highest in the game since 2012. Get right. But that was when the game just came out and most pros were still playing 1.6 and Source. And it would somehow get more crazy in the next year, 2019, the first year in Counter-Strike history where the top 3 players were all AWPers. Device was the top 3 AWPer and the second best player in the world in 2018, so no surprise he was there. Second was Prime Simple. Yes, the GOAT was only number 2, and he was number 2 because there was this upcoming rookie called Czgo that would take the Counter-Strike world by surprise, beating Prime Simple in his rookie year.
Quickly, and now it's all falling apart.
The next year the world shut down and the Creek got nerfed, so we went into the online era, where the exact same thing would happen, with the top 3 of Czgo, Simple and Device again. In 2021 we came back to LAN again, and this only helped the AWPers. This time there were no Device, but Sure at number 4 instead. But people complained more and more, and in 2022 we finally got our long awaited Awp Nerf. And this time it would finally kill the weapon, and we lived happily ever after. Wait, what's that? The nerf was just removing 5 bullets? Yeah, this made almost no difference. The only time this actually mattered if you're shooting through smokes or if you were getting an ace. Not the most common scenarios, but hey, I guess a nerf is a nerf, right? Right guys? I actually don't know a single person that thought this nerf was a good idea.
Yes, clearing corners. Oh no! You're an animal!
As you might be able to tell, the Awp was still clearly the best weapon, and again the 3 best players were all AWPers. But in 2023, after 11 years of waiting, we finally got our long awaited sequel, CS2. And there was a lot of problems with CS2 at launch, but the main one that's important for AWPers is Pika's advantage. In CSGO you would hold an angle with the AWP, but you couldn't do that in CS2 because of Pika's advantage. Now this made a massive change of how you would play and use the AWP. This time only one AWP or ZywOo would finish within the top 3, but over time Pika's advantage was fixed, sort of, and the AVP became broken again. Now this is recorded before the 2024 top 20 ranking, but safe to say Monesi and ZywOo will definitely finish within the top 3. And I actually think for the first time since 2014 the AWP is finally balanced, and let's hope it stays that way.
To try and deal with Apex on it dark, and Spinks, he closes Nico's eyes. That's the block going down. Mezzi line him. G2, but it's that fight again, and it's Monesi. And he looks to strike right to the chest of Carrigan. Second shoot right now. Push and pull, and Monesi, no scope. Style points from Monesi. He'll go.